Hey, internet friends. I've got a little bit of technology that I want to show you, and also want to ask for your help in improving it. I've been working on something that I've codenamed the Eye of Wulþuz. If you're unfamiliar with that particular god, you might be a little bit more familiar with his other name, which is Uller. Uller is I'm not really pronouncing that right, because I can't give that long, nice roll of the R that Icelandic people do. But when Wotan would abdicate his throne for the winter, a god named Wulþuz would come along, and he would basically be the king of the hill for the time that Wotan was sort of absent. And Wotan, is a sort of a god of language. He would run around and do a little bit of tricks. But Wulþuz was more like he was famous for his archery and the skill which he navigated the snowy lands. So we're talking a different sort of guy that's a lot less talk and a lot more just brutal and ruthless action. He was a little bit more of a punishing winter god, that represented the harsh, punishing nature of the landscape. And the thing that he was really like his superpower, he was like Green Arrow, right? He was sort of just could hit anything with a bow and sort of legendary for his targeting. So I've been having a lot of thoughts lately. I've noticed that a lot of people seem to be coming to the conclusions that I am. Even pretty notable people. I've been watching PewDiePie's videos lately. It's quite funny to see him sort of progress, right? That he starts out, doing the anime Nazi Hitlerist intro, right? And then he's saying racial slurs, and he's got this banner that reads "Death to all Jews," which he insists is a joke, and to a certain extent it is. But I think that we can all see that PewDiePie is going sort of down a path of ideology that we've all gone down, and it's only going to be a matter of time, right? Because the priesthood that he is opposing is one of political correctness, and they don't really care if he's joking or not. The dogma of the day is being insulted, being ridiculed by this guy, and it's only a matter of time before the priesthood comes after him. So he's going to be in a group of people, right? You can only make a joke out of these subjects for so long. And you're going to wake up. You're going to wake up, and they're going to come for you, and you're going to realize that there aren't enough of you. And we're going to see one after another. These people are going to get more and more persecuted. But by the time that enough of us wake up to really oppose things on our own, we're going to be very, very much outnumbered, right? We're going to be vastly outnumbered. Democratic consensus is not going to change anything at that point, right? There will be people that will be voting for our slavery. And the question of the day is, how would you react, right? What could you do if you were outnumbered 1,000 to 1 and you needed to reconquer a place? And the answer really is you'd have to do something that would allow you to act with great asymmetricity, right? And so basically, I have a thought, I have a dream. Then what if you wanted to prank a whole lot of people, right? And maybe it was dangerous to do some pranks. I don't know if you guys saw the guy in the United Kingdom that put bacon on the handle of the mosque, and they threw him in jail with Muslims, and he's dead now. The Muslims murdered him in prison. So doing any level of pranks is really risky, right? And you can only perhaps have so many pranks stockpiled, and if you get caught doing them, you're going to be, potentially sentenced to death. But if you wanted to prank a whole lot of things at once, you wanted to get away with it and not be directly tied to it, you need to create something that would be able to act autonomously, and you could distribute a lot of autonomous devices, and then you just need to have a way for them to pick targets, So in the line of Wulþuz and his legendary targeting, I want to show you this little demo, right, and show you sort of where I'm at on this thing. So this is the Eye of Wulþuz. It's we've got a bunch of directories here, right, that are sort of categories by race. And we've we fed these things. I collected all this data with the help of just hundreds of guys at therightstuff.biz. Helped me just catalog an unfathomable amount of images. So we're talking tens of thousands, and we've got just a huge amount of images here that just, we've put a lot of work into this. It's an amazing thing, but we're beginning to crunch this a lot. I'm retraining this thing all the time. And we basically have it now where we could do some significant work on it, right? So what I want to show you, like, is we want to ask ourselves, is PewDiePie white? That's what you're coming to find out, right? Is PewDiePie white? And only AI can tell us, right? Like we got some nice pictures of PewDiePie here. This one is giving the bro fist. This is a good photo of Pewds, I think, and so we're gonna run this through. We're gonna run this through the software, and it's gonna tell us. It's gonna tell us what it thinks of PewDiePie. And so so this is anything over 45%. This is 63% is really high confidence for a white person, we seem. If we have yet to have a white person show up as beneath 45% confidence with the highest confidence. So this is PewDiePie is definitely on the current score ranking very, very white. So we've got a good bit of whiteness here. The artificial intelligence is quite sure that PewDiePie is white. Let's find something that's probably not white. Blacks. So let's search for blacks. This guy actually, yeah, this is definitely coming up with black people. So this is Ice Cube. Is Ice Cube white? Is what we're going to ask ourselves. And we've got what is that from? There we go. So here we go. So we have an absolute certainty, basically. Well, 71% confidence right now, with nothing else. It doesn't think Ice Cube is anything else. So it's definitely he's definitely black, right? And we've got this pretty high confidence at this point. I can reliably identify with this thing if something is white or if it's black. Really, it's not perfect. I'm like, for example, like this guy. Let's throw a brown person into it. So we've got brown people, and if you notice, there's an Arabs category here, right? I am absolutely trying to teach it what an Arab is, and okay. But what happens when I feed it an Arab is like this thing really thinks of like operates like on a line graph, between 2 points, one of which is black and one of which is white, and it's like it's more sure that it's black here than anything else, but it's not really showing high confidence. And this is a common occurrence with any brown minority, is that you'll see low confidence. The highest confidence that it's black, but low confidence amongst both black and white is sort of just thinking, hey, I'm not quite sure what this is, but it doesn't seem to be identifying whites as anything else. So we can right now, with the state that the software is in, we can pretty reliably identify if something is white or not with it. So if we wanted to take a place like Sweden, where PewDiePie lives, and we wanted to take out the people, through pranks that perhaps look more like Ice Cube, and leave the people that look more like PewDiePie, we could absolutely pretty reliably do this. But I think we can do better. For one, I would like it to get to reliably recognize other minorities. I think that perhaps in some areas there will be the political will to prank some minorities and perhaps not others. So I think that we'd want to accommodate that, by this mechanism of being able to reliably identify sort of these other categories of ethnic groups that are not white, and that would be nice. And I would like this thing to be a little bit smarter. The fact is that we've taken most of the data that we fit into this from dating profiles. So we have a specific kind of data in this data set, and that's data that is sort of like a profile pic, right? It doesn't really obscure the face. You know, the person is usually like pretty much always in the foreground. It's a very clear photo that's sort of showing who this person is and not trying to obscure this person. And to make this software a lot smarter, the thing that we're going to have to do is start showing it photos that are not so clear. Like if there is a photo with a person of a given ethnicity and they're in the background rather than in the foreground of the photo, that's really good data that we don't have a lot of. If their face is perhaps partially obscured, like if there's a tree branch in front of their face, and there's maybe a couple leaves and part of the branch is obscuring their face, things like this, right? Or maybe they're holding up a flower and it covers, a part of their face, or they're smelling a flower. Things like this are really good data that we do not have in large quantities. So if you could, I would like your help, right? So here's the list of directories that I have. Here's my categories, right? If you could sort photos like this into these categories, right, and sort of help me get a lot of data that corresponds to the kind that I'm missing, it would be really, really helpful. I'd really, really appreciate it. I'd like to get the Eye of Wulþuz to the point where I could see it reliably deployed in production in all environments, and on the off chance that people need to commit pranks on a huge, huge scale. And I think that a lot of people are going to be waking up in situations like PewDiePie, where their countries are sort of being overrun by hostile foreigners, and that they don't really know what to do except try to make a joke of the dogmas and rhetorical paradigms by which the invaders are justified in their actions against the native populations. And I think that more and more people are going to be waking up in this situation. And there's a time and a place for humor, but eventually, like, it's going to be so terrible that we're just not even going to be able to laugh anymore, and that we're going to have to do something about this, right? And we're going to be vastly, vastly outnumbered. We can't count on the state to be with us in this situation. So if you guys could help me, and you could get me more data. I need as many pictures possible. Obscured minorities, obscured white people. I need them sorted by race, and I need them, of this nature where they're not exactly clearly visible or the center of the photograph. I need a bunch. Like, I'm talking thousands upon thousands, as much as you can. So if you guys are willing to get involved, that'd be great. So yeah, I hope you guys had a happy New Year. Of course, I've been banned from pretty much everything at this point. Twitter, Facebook. I'm not really contactable on anything. I'm on VK. If you guys want to follow me on VK, I'm at vk.com/weave and a zero, and I'm on Gab, gab.ai/weave. So if you guys want to follow me on one of those places, I'll be there, and you guys can come and give me a message. You can also email me at gluttony@gmail.com and attach some of these data. And yeah, I really appreciate all the help. Therightstuff.biz has been hugely, hugely helpful. I wouldn't have even gotten this far on this project if not for them. And it's been a good year. 2016, 2017 is already off to an awesome start, and if all goes well, then perhaps 2018 could be the year of programmatic autonomous pranking. And I hope you all are psyched about what's going to come, because we're going to win no matter what. I don't care how outnumbered we are. I don't care what happens. We're going to win. So hail victory. Have a good one.